Then only we will look any for the best path any to reach our destination. So the one yani who takes any a path any is a salik. So this book any is dedicated any to the salikin. Yani a person any who already understood his purpose, and that he has already pledged to take any this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what we mention again and again every year before any we start our class, and especially any for those who first time attending. So these are some of the things any that we have to take note. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah make it easy any upon us any to take this path. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So now inshallah ta'ala we will enter into the wisdom any that we are in. So we have reached wisdom number 39. I believe all of you have the translation. But even if translation sometimes because so many of these words and it has metaphorical meanings. So as usual, what I will do I will just read the Hikmah and I will explain. So he mentioned, لا ترفعن إلى غيره حاجة هو موردها عليك فكيف يرفع غيره ما كان هو له واضعا من لا يستطيع أن يرفع حاجة عن نفسه فكيف يستطيع أن يكون لها عن غيره رافعا. So the first sentence he mentioned, لا ترفعن إلى غيره حاجة هو موردها عليك. The author is saying, he's speaking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that everything that happens by Allah. Everything that happens, it happens by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning Allah is the one who make it happen. This is what we study in Aqidah, correct or not? When we study the attribute of Al-Qudra, what is the ta'rif? Sifatun azaliyatun yata'atta biha ijadu mumkinin wa i'damuhu. Yani Qudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ijadu mumkin wa i'damuhu. It is creating the creation or making the creations come from existence to non-existence, and also from non-existence to existence. So everything that happens, it happens by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Shaykh Ibn Ata al-Iskandari is saying that if you are facing a calamity, how can you ask from something else, from someone else, who does not have the ability to lift that calamity upon you? Yani when human beings face a calamity, how does we solve the problem of this calamity? We should ask the question, who is the one in the first place brought this calamity? So we should ask any assistance and help from the one who brought this calamity into existence, because the solution lies in the one who make it happen. So how can we ask from someone else who do not have the power behind the occurrence of this calamity? Is it understood, inshallah? I will give examples. No problem. We take it easy. We relax. So now we give an example. Imagine, na'uzubillah min zalik, a calamity happened in a form of maybe like earthquake or tsunami. We pray that Allah protect us, inshallah. But this is just an example. So now, when this calamity happens, so now we are asking for help. We want to ask for assistance. Who do we go to? To ask for assistance. Here is where Shaykh Ibn Atta'ala is saying that you cannot be asking any assistance from someone who he himself does not have the power to bring that calamity in the first place. So the one that can help you and that can give you the assistance is the one who make that calamity happen. The solution lies in his hands. So this is the first example. The second example sicknesses. A person is afflicted by a sickness. Who is the one who make the sickness happen? Who? When a calamity happens, who is the one who make it happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a sickness happen, who is the one who make the sickness happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who is the creator of the sickness? Allah. Who is the one who is the creator of all the things that happen, whether good or bad? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the manifestation of the Qudra. That's what we mentioned. Because we say everything happens by the Qudra of Allah. Everything, without any exception. Whether it is good or the otherwise. So Shaykh Ibn Atta'ala Iskandari, he mentioned that anything that happens, whether it is in the form of calamity, or in the form of sicknesses, or in the form of ni'mah also. When we attain any blessings, for example, in the form of wealth and health, who is the one who created health and wealth? Who is the one who blesses us with health? Who is the one who blesses us with wealth? Who is the one who blesses us with our family? So everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we understood the source of things, when we come to an understanding of the source of the existence of all things and the occurrence of all things, then we will understand that the solution to everything lies in that source. The one who created the sickness, he is the one who has the antidote. The one who brought the calamity, he is the one who has the solution. The one who make any people rich, he is the one who has the power of everything. So when we human beings we understand our source, today we look at ourselves, we see that Allah bless us, for example, with health. Allah bless us with wealth. We must understand that everything comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should not be deluded by the asbab. We call it the asbab, correct? No? Calamities are means. The outward means. Sicknesses is also a means. Asbab. Health is asbab. Wealth, asbab. So Shaykh Ibn Atta'ala Iskandari is teaching us, do not be blinded by the asbab. So you will find this again and again. We are speaking about this again and again. And for those who have been following Hikmah, MashaAllah, he is basically focusing in this. Because many of us, we are veiled. Sometimes we fail to see. We become agitated by the situations around us, but we fail to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything. So this is the training Shaykh Ibn Atta'ala Iskandari is teaching us. How we want to break this veil, this hijab. In the previous wisdom he spoke about hijab. He said it is not Allah who is mahjub, but the one who is mahjub is human beings. when we are unable to see the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning we are veiled, not Allah veiled. The weakness is from us, that we are unable to see the reality. So this is the training. How are we able to train ourselves to always focus on the realities and not be deluded by the outward asbab. Because the asbab is a test from Allah. Allah is testing human beings. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. Allah created human beings, and Allah tests you with health and wealth and children and women. These are all tests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see which among us can reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and understand the reality that Allah is behind everything. So this is a thing that requires a lot of ponderance, a lot of tafakkur, a lot of remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make it easy upon us, inshaAllah ta'ala. So this is the main message that he's trying to say, is that the importance of knowing our Maker, that He is behind everything, and not to be deluded by the means. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created the medicine, and when a person is sick, he consumes any medicine. After he consumes any medicine, he becomes well. So Islam taught us, do not be deluded by the asbab, but focus on the musabbib. And the musabbib is the creator of the asbab. Who is the one who make us sick in the first place? And who is the one who bless us with the cure? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we are focused in that, then that is success. Because we mentioned our objectives in life is to attain the pleasure of Allah. And Allah will be pleased if we acknowledge His bounties, and we acknowledge that it is He and not any other than He. So likewise, when a person is hungry and when we consume any food, it is not the food that give us full, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who bless us with this ni'mah. Likewise, when we are thirsty and we consume any water to drink, it is not any water that quench our thirst, but it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who created thirst in us. Allah is the one who created hunger in us as a test. Allah is the one who brought everything into existence. And Allah at the same time is the creator of the asbab. And Allah is testing us. Which one do you believe? Do you believe in the asbab? Or do you believe in the creator of the asbab? So this is a test of iman. So here Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Askandari mentioned, La tarfa'anna ila ghayrihi. He said, do not depend on other than Allah. Do not depend on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why do not depend on other than Allah? Because Allah is the creator of everything. That everything happens by Allah. Other than Allah is in need of Allah. If you put our dependence on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, other than Allah also in need of Allah. That they also cannot function and cannot give any effect. Except any effect only comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says, La tarfa'anna ila ghayrihi hajatan. Do not depend on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a haja, for a need. Huwa muriduha alayk. It is Allah is one who bless you with everything. The one who tests you with the calamity, and the one who is going to give you the answer and the solution. So you should be focusing on the one who does everything, not other than Him who is dependent on Him. So this is the first sentence. Everything clear, inshallah? Is there anyone who doesn't understand? Maybe some of you find it, wallahu alam, maybe difficult. I do not blame you, because Hikmah of Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Askandari is one level. Yes.
Just talking about these people might be misconstrued with the term tawassul, because people might think that tawassul.
Yeah, this is a good question. Yeah. Okay, now you see there is a difference. Okay, let's say there are two persons. Tamam? Both of them are afflicted by a calamity. The first person, he is engrossed with the asbab. So he's only thinking about how am I able to get the solution of my problem. But where does he go? His mind is only thinking about asbab. For example, if he has fever, he only thinks about Panadol and doctor. Khalas. We say this person is mahjub. The term used is what? The term used in Hikmah is mahjub. What is the meaning of mahjub? His meaning there is a hijab over him. The word hijab meaning something that cover. So if something is covering you, you cannot see, correct or not? If someone comes to you and put a black cloth on top of you, you do not know what is happening in front of you. So it's spiritually, we say this person is mahjub. Mahjub, he doesn't see the reality. He doesn't see beyond. What is the thing that he doesn't see? He doesn't see that Allah is the one who is testing him. But he is engrossed with what? He is just engrossed with his situation. But he failed to understand that he is tested by his maker. And he does not know who is his maker. And he does not know that he is tested. And he is just engrossed with the asbab, which asbab also is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he busy himself with finding Panadol and looking for the doctor. But his mind does not think about the one who is testing him, the one who make him sick, the one that will make him cure. So Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Askandari is addressing this kind of people, saying how can you look for your solution to the problem that you are facing to something other than the one who make everything happen. From the one who make the thing happen and the one who has the solution. Why are you not returning to him? Why are you going to other than him, who they themselves are dependent on him? Can you see? So this is the first person. The second person, he is afflicted by the same calamity. But he understood that Allah is testing me. Can you see the difference now? And this person, he knows that this happened by Allah. This requires iman. This is our problem today. Correct or not? This is difficult. This is the difficulty that we are facing today. I can say this because all of us we are in the same boat. Correct? All of us are facing problems. All of us are facing difficulties. At some point of difficulties. So we can look at our state of iman when difficulties come. Who do we look to? What do we think? So here Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Askandari is saying what is proper for a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he is afflicted. Point number one, he knows that this comes from Allah. Before anything else, whatever happened to me, Allah is the one who make it happen. Because the makhluk do not have power. Allah is the one who make it happen. Whatever it is, whether it is in the form of ni'mah or it is in the form of a test, of calamity. Tamam? So now we understand that it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah is testing me. So when we understand that Allah is testing us, then the next question will be what? What is the appropriate thing for us to do to please Him? So that we can be successful in this situation. How are we able to be successful in the situation that Allah is testing us? By returning to Him and ask Him for assistance. But first we have to acknowledge that it comes from Him. And the solutions lies by Him, not by other than Him. And we ask Him for assistance. Oh Allah, please help me in this situation. And when we look for asbab, We look any for asbab yani with the mentality that Allah yani is the one yani who possesses any the solutions and not any the asbab. So this person is different than the first person. Correct or not? The second person, is it the same? The difference that is between any the earth and the sky. This is any a difference any between the person any mashallah who is in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the person any who is confused. So we got no choice. We must be the second person. We cannot be the first. Because otherwise, we will lose out any in this life. And we'll be wasting a lot of our time. If until today, we do not realize any this reality. So this is where Shaykh Ibn Atha al-Iskandari is saying, he's not saying that don't use asbab. But he's saying that whenever you use any the asbab, use any the asbab but with iman. With the correct understanding. Islam doesn't teach us to leave the asbab. Yani the salihin they say tarkul asbab jahl. Tarkul asbab jahl. Yani leaving the asbab is ignorance. Wal i'timadu alayhi shirk. But dependent on the asbab is shirk, worse. Tarkul asbab jahl. Why jahl? Yani a person say, for example, I don't want any asbab. I just want Allah. Yani no asbab. This is an ignorance. Why ignorance? Because our Prophet ﷺ taught us of the importance of using the asbab. Yani if you study the life of the Prophet ﷺ, did the Prophet ﷺ use any the asbab around him? Yes. We have the famous incident of the migration, the hijrah. The Prophet ﷺ when he went to the cave for 3 days because the Quraysh were finding him. This is using asbab. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, Allah will send Buraq. The Prophet went from Makkah to Baitul Maqdis in a split of a moment. But when comes to Makkah to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ when he undergo all these things to teach us the importance of using the asbab. That is the wisdom. Because if Allah wants, Buraq will come. But Buraq didn't come in migration. Buraq came in the event of Isra wal Mi'raj. There are wisdoms to it. The incident of Isra wal Mi'raj, there are wisdoms that we can study for them. And likewise, the incident of the migration of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there are wisdoms that we can benefit. Ya, kita dah habis. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about the importance of using asbab. That's why ulama mentioned tarkul asbab jahl wal i'timad alayhi shirk. Depending on the asbab is shirk. This is how they say. Dependency should be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are commanded by Allah to use the asbab and put our dependency on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the asbab. So now when we go on to the second sentence, he mentioned فَكَيْفَ يَرْفَعُ غَيْرُهُ مَا كَانَ هُوَ لَهُ وَاضِعًا. Yani how can other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uplift a calamity when Allah is the one who make it happen? In that sense, how can other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you what you want when Allah is the one who created that situation and the one who possesses the solution to the problem? Clear, inshallah? So again, I gave an example earlier. The example of sickness. Allah is the one who created sickness as a test. So how can other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how can other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure the sickness when Allah is the one who created the sickness? Allah is the one who make the sickness happen, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gives the cure. How can other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the cure to that sickness? It is impossible. Because everything, as what we mentioned, and everything happens by Allah. So other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of it are dependent on Allah. All of it, we say they are asbab, they are means, and all of it are dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Iskandari, and he's teaching us, focus on who? Focus on Allah. You read any wisdom from the beginning, his wisdom from the beginning till the end, you will find the same message. At the end of the day, and he's telling us the importance of focusing on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because everything happens by Allah. And other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not possess the efficacy. In Aqidah we use this word efficacy. Other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot give effect. Cannot give effect. Effect only comes from Allah. So that is why we have to put our dependency on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we put our dependency on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is ignorance. Because other than Allah also are dependent on Allah. Man la yastati'u an yarfa'a hajatan an nafsihi fa kayfa yastati'u an yakuna laha an ghayrihi rafi'a. Yani those who does not have the ability to bring about the solution to his situation that he is facing, then how can he give others that solution when he himself cannot bring the solution to himself? And when we human beings we are weak, we cannot give any effect. When we are faced with a calamity, or we are faced with a ni'mah, for example, we do not have the ability to give any effect. Then how can we have the ability to give effect to others? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gives the effect. So this is just an elaboration of what we mentioned before this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with tawfiq and hidayah. Is there any questions so far? So again, we find that there are a lot of what is the word? With aqidah, there is a lot of relation. What we are saying, there are a lot of relation to the knowledge of aqidah. So earlier I mentioned that Shaykh Ibn Atta al-Iskandari is teaching us how we can benefit from aqidah and put it into practice. This is how we put it into practice. How do we put it into practice? When we are living in our lives in this world, the happenings that happen in our daily lives, so we can apply this understanding in our lives. This is how we benefit from knowledge. So for example, tomorrow inshallah ta'ala we get ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, tomorrow for example, some of you are blessed with some goodness, whether any goodness in health or goodness in wealth. Then we remind ourselves that this comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although outwardly somebody is giving us. So we should not be deluded by the person who gives us. But we say thanks to the person. But at the same time we understand that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is behind everything. Shaykh Ramadan Bhuti, he gave the example of the postman. When the postman give you a parcel, and you thought any that the postman and is the one any who gives you. So you love any the postman, but you forgot any the person any who sent any the parcel. You forgot any about that person. What do we say to this person? Yani he start any to thank any the postman. The postman and he sent him any a parcel and containing some money. So he thought that it is from the postman. So he say, how nice any is this person. The postman is saying, I'm just delivering. I'm a delivery guy. I'm the Grab driver or Grab food. But the food and it comes any from the restaurant and you ordered. It's not for me. I'm just delivering. Correct or not? The postman also says that I'm just a postman. I'm delivering. So the one who gives you is the main person. So we should thank who? We should thank the person who sent. But if we forget the person who sent, now that is our ignorance. So likewise Sheikh Buti says that when we attain ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and somebody help us for example, and we are only focusing on that person, but we forget the one who sent. So that is also our ignorance. So that is why it is important for us Muslims, the importance of having iman, and the importance of realizing that everything that happens to us, it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it is a wisdom of Allah that Allah created everything in asbab. That we see everything has the cause. This is a test. Asbab is a test. So we have to be alert, and we have to ponder upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us inshaAllah ta'ala with tawfiq. If there is no question we will stop here for today. I do not want to drag too long. So inshaAllah we take one wisdom per day. InsyaAllah ta'ala.